Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this MCTV Sports edition of high school basketball. Tonight's contest comes from the PAL South Division. On the girls' side, it's the Mills Vikings taking on the Burlingame Panthers. Hello, everyone. I'm Kenny Melch alongside my broadcast partner, Bill McCarthy. And Bill, quite a matchup tonight towards the top of the standings. A lot on the line for both teams.
Yeah, I noticed looking at the standings beforehand that this is going to be a battle for second place.
Woodside comes in undefeated in first place at 9-0. Burlingame's right behind at 8-1. They're followed by Menlo Atherton at 7-2. And there are the Mills Vikings also at 7-2, tied for third place. They're currently announcing the starting lineups for both teams. For Mills, the red team and visitor on the scoreboard, they'll go with Kristen Listovska, Brianna Suey, Tiffany Chang, Madison Suey, and Julia Gibbs. For Burlingame, they're currently announcing the starters. Number 12, Nora Gustafson. Number 13, Nina Newman. Number 15, Sarah Gogarty. Number 21, Lauren Rowley, who they're announcing now. And number 24, Dana Michaels. Burlingame is head coached by Bill Lepeltak in his first year. And of course, Mills is head coached by Dave Matsu, now in his sixth year. The referees for tonight's contest are Joe Olive and Eric Sitt. We'd like to thank our statisticians this evening, Nick Broqua and Julius Adkins. We also have someone helping out, our runner, Catherine Villamejor. So everybody helping out with this MCTV Sports crew. Bill, we were here 1 year ago, not here, we were over at Mills, getting ready to do a game between the Vikings and the MA Bears. It was pouring rain outside, and then the roof started leaking.
Yeah, I made sure to check the weather report before I came down here tonight, and looks like there's no rain till tomorrow.
That's good news. Again, this is the first of two, the girls and then the boys.
You know, talking about records before, this is one of those games where the records really probably aren't the primary consideration. This is a rivalry game, and many of these girls have been playing against each other for so many years, even before high school, that they just want to go out and win.
And they had a great game back on January 18th where Mills beat Burlingame, who is then undefeated by just 2 points. We'll talk a little more about that later on in the broadcast. Right now they're getting set for the tip. It'll be Julia Gibbs going against Nina Newman.
Julia Gibbs, of course, is just a freshman, but she's been doing real well for the Mills Varsity. Starting
in the post, Burlingame wins the tap. They're moving left to right across your television screen here on MCTV Sports. Lauren Rowley drives the paint, and there's that freshman Gibbs with a block shot, and she collects the rebound at the same time.
Well, in addition to size, Julia can handle the ball too. She's got a lot of skills for a freshman.
Excuse me, Bill. Mills likes that up-tempo style. You'll look to see them push it. They've got a lot of guards that can handle the ball.
Well, really what I see out there is four guards, no matter what they put down as their position. Four guards and one post player. I think the key for them tonight will be if they can hit their outside shots against the taller Burlingame team.
And of course, on the defensive end, they have to stop Burlingame's standout all-star three-point shooter, Dana Michaels, number 24. Burlingame starting in a zone. Shot block there, rebound, a trip. And we're gonna have a shot clock violation before the contact. So a lot of action, but not a lot of points here in the first 50 seconds of the first quarter here at Burlingame High School.
We have Mills starting out in what looks like a full court man-to-man.
Listovska guarding Rowley. There's a turnover on a post entry taken by Brianna Suey. In transition, there's Chang to Madison Suey for three. A little short on that one. Up to Rowley on a fast break, and the Panthers lead 2-0.
Beautiful outlet pass by Nina Newman there.
Back the other way come the Vikings. Gibbs. Now it's Brianna Suey. And yes, they are sisters. Madison Suey, number 13, Brianna, number 3. Brianna is one of the 3 seniors on the Vikings roster. Madison is a junior.
And Brianna is a 3 or 4-year varsity player.
Once again, full court pressure by the Vikings, applied to the Burlingame Panthers. Having a fantastic year, 19-2 overall, 8-1 in league. Count the basket. Nora Gustafson and the foul.
She had a nice open 15-footer there and missed it, but followed up her shot and was able to get the foul.
Gustafson on the season, 21 of 36 from the line. Can't convert the 3-point play there, but Panthers up 4-0. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Brianna Suey from deep. No good. Rebound, Newman. Up tempo. There she is once again. It's Gustafson. Nice pass inside there from Gogarty.
It's a very nice entry pass. All the girl had to do was basically catch the ball and put it up.
Mills struggling against this zone. There's Suey breaking free, and the Vikings are on the board. Looks like Burlingame's looking to trap out of their zone in the corners. Full court press. Man press by Mills. In their red uniforms with the gold trim, or scarlet and gold, if you will. Rebound, Gibbs. Outlet pass, Brianna Suey. Here comes Tiffany Chang to Madison Suey. Lastofka to Gibbs. Sister to sister. No good.
It was a nice play by Madison Suey to follow up and be able to get the weak side rebound on that one. Burlingame certainly has the size advantage.
Mills at 7-2 in the South in third place. Tied for third. 13-8 overall.
Tiffany Chen, another one of Mills' seniors, is at the line for a second shot.
Lindsey Huffman checks in. She's a junior, 5'7". Goes in for Gibbs, the freshman. Makes the second of 2. Vikings trail 6-3.
Sorry, Kenny. Conditioning's going to be a issue here for Mills if they're going to play this full court pressure. They've only got 4 people on the bench.
9 on the roster, 3 of them seniors. This is senior night here at Burlingame High School. Burlingame has 6 seniors. 5 of them started. Ball reversal by the Panthers. Inside, once again, it's Gustafson, and she loses it out of bounds. That time Huffman muscled her up down there.
And Kristen Lasofka slid over there to double team her. Made her put the ball on the floor again.
Coach Dave Matsu in his 6th year coaching for the Vikings. We asked him about Burlingame as Lasofka looks to drive the lane. Contact on a drive. We asked Coach Matsu about Burlingame, and he said, quote, "They are a legit team. They have the complete package." He went on to say, quote, "They have a nice point guard, a great shooter in Michaels, and 2 very good post players. It's a tough matchup for anyone. They are definitely the team to beat in the PAL." End quote.
There's Madison Suey again battling for a rebound and ended up in a Mills possession.
Mills getting a lot of second chance opportunities here.
Well, one thing about shooting from distance, if you know your team's going to be doing that, then you can always have, you can put rebounders on the weak side, anticipating the potential long rebound.
Panthers, once again in their white uniforms, 19-2, 8-1 in the South. On the attack, steal Lasofka. Bounce pass, Brianna Suey can't make the layup.
That was was a nice play by Kristen Listowka. Unfortunately, Brianna Sui couldn't come up with the basket.
Here's Michaels, the sharpshooter. Misses her first three-point attempt on the drive. Lauren Rowley. Rowley's got 4. Gustafson's got 4 for the Panthers. Turnover, Mills.
Mills can't afford to make turnovers here against this. It's not a whole lot of pressure that Burlingame's putting on, but just enough that it's rattling Mills just a little bit.
3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Inside pass, nice look. Newman can't get it to go. Back come the Vikings. Brianna Sui, Chang. That 2-3 zone of Burlingame. Chang with the penetration. Outlet to Michaels. Count the basket, it's 10-3.
Nice finish by Dana Michaels there.
Timeout, Matsu and Mills. Springtime sports are on. We are very excited here at MCTV to be bringing you Mills Viking baseball, and we will actually be covering 2 games for them this year. How's that for expanded coverage? Our first game will be South San Francisco at Mills. That should be a good one. It happens on March the 26th. For more scheduling info, check out mctv.tv. So we played a little over 5.5 minutes, and Burlingame has clearly established himself, Bill.
Well, they're going inside. They've got the size advantage, and they're looking to go over the top of what looks like a man-to-man or a matchup zone that Mills is playing.
There's Chang, beats the press, but she forces the pass in. Reset the shot clock on the kick. Here's our first look at Taylor Cormier for the Vikings, number 24. New shot clock. Listowka, count it. You always like to convert off the timeout if you're a coach.
Nice 15-foot jumper by Kristen.
Listowka, one of the 3 seniors. She gets a steal. Here she comes. Can't get her shot off. Lauren Rowley. Rowley's now got 6.
Again, a nice outlet pass by Dana Michaels.
This time Listowka drives and she gets the foul.
Kristen missed some time this year because she's a dynamic player and likes to drive the lane, but she's had some concussion issues. And actually her first game back for a while was the last time that Burlingame and Mills played. And I spoke to her after the game, and she said she's a little hesitant to drive the lane.
Well, she's doing it tonight, though. She's getting in there. She got to the line, missed her first free throw. Of course, charity stripe shots are always crucial in any close game, and Mills hopes to keep it that way. They're down 7 here as Listowka misses them both. Here comes Michael. On a drive, that's Gogarty. Michaels for 3.
Wow. That was from beyond the arc, that one.
She's got range.
And Mills has got to watch themselves that they don't get themselves too far behind.
For Michaels, that was 3-pointer number 80 on the season. In 21 games, averaging close to 4 threes a game. She's their leading scorer, averaging 17.5 points per game. Looked like it might have been a travel, no call. Mills gets it anyways on a held ball.
Well, the trail referee didn't indicate anything. It was the lead referee that called it a jump ball. In either case, Mills ends up getting a turnover out of it.
Brianna Suey, senior. Gibbs, a freshman. Count it. 15-7, 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter here on MCTV Sports. Burlingame and Mills on the girls' side. Up next, the boys. 20 seconds on the clock. 17 on the shot clock. Game clock's two ahead of the shot clock. Foul by Gibbs on the drive.
She definitely got her on the arm on that one. Wasn't even close.
Rally on the season at the line, 88 for 115. Very good free throw shooter. 77% to be exact. And she sinks her first. And her second. 17-7, biggest lead of the game for the Panthers. Chang tries that bounce pass again.
Mills has been able to get some drives to the hoop, but they keep kicking it away.
8 seconds left.
And some of these, the ball handler just needs to keep going to the basket.
Cormier to Gibbs. Cross court to Suey. Got it. 3-pointer. Quarter's over. Big bucket there for Mills to end the quarter. Now they're only down 7. We'd like to thank the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring this event. Chamber of Commerce is a non-profit association that promotes and supports outstanding businesses in Millbrae. Local organizations and residents can join, and members receive discounts to local businesses. If you'd like to join, contact millbrae.com, or you can call 697-7324 for more information. Once again, I'm Kenny Melch alongside Bill McCarthy. And Bill, after the end of the first quarter, Mills got that 3-pointer there at the end, but really, it was all Panthers.
Well, again, you know, they've got the size advantage. They've been getting the ball inside on the offensive end of the game there for Burlingame, and they're converting. They're also hitting their free throws. Really, Mills should be down by more than 7.
Just got a score update from our good friend Ethan Castle, another one of our runners tonight. Key boys North Division matchup. Half Moon Bay leads El Camino at the end of one quarter, 15-14. That's first and second place in the North Division for the boys. Back here to the girls and the South Division. Tiffany Chang off the turnover of Burlingame. She can't get it to convert. A lot of ball pressure supplied, and once again, Bill, like you said, stamina factor. There's Michaels for 3, can't get it to go. That was a big reason how Mills was able to defeat Burlingame back on January the 18th, is they really limited Michaels. In fact, she only ate 2 3-pointers in that game.
Well, Mills had an incredible comeback in that game, down by 15 into the third quarter.
Driving basket there by Rowley. And then Mills closed the third quarter on a 19-0 run back on January 18th.
Well, what they did in that game is they were going inside to Julia Gibbs. She had about eight points in a row. They were getting some turnovers off of, getting some points off of Burlingame turnovers, and a couple of, 3-pointers.
Michaels off the turnover, misses the 3.
Most importantly, though, in that game is that Burlingame really went cold. They just could not get a basket. They were getting some inside shots and just could not convert.
A lot of momentum game. It started at the defensive end.
I don't think Mills wants to find himself in that situation again, especially on Burlingame's home court.
And they're already approaching that 15-point deficit. They're down by 9 here in the second quarter. In fact, we asked Coach Matsu, in his opinion, how they beat Burlingame the first time, and he said, quote, "The way we beat them was a total team effort. Count the basket for Nina Newman." Coach Matsu went on to say from the bench to the girls on the court. They never gave up, even when they were down 15 in the third quarter. He said they played great team defense. They picked up full court man. They applied tons of ball pressure, which created 16 turnovers in the second half. Coach Matsu went on to say, we pushed the ball every opportunity we had. We scored in transition, and we held Dana Michaels to only 8 points, end quote.
Well, they did, you know, I was at that game, and they didn't lack for confidence. They didn't look like being down that much really bothered them that much, and clearly it didn't. They were able to come back and win that game. And it was one of those situations where they went on a run like that, and sometimes when you go on a run, it takes a little bit out of you. It didn't take anything out of them. They just kept on going and held their lead the rest of the game.
That was an enormous win for the Vikings back on January 18th over these Panthers. Burlingame at the time was unbeaten, and that's their only loss that they have in the South Division. They're 8-1.
Well, that was an interesting call right there. You don't usually see that when the guard's not being pressured so much, but they called walking, essentially, is what the call is, on Sarah Gogarty.
So the Vikings down by 12, take over on the turnover. Inside, that's Gibbs. Turns over the left shoulder. Can't get it to go.
Again, she is a very skilled player for just being a freshman.
Backcourt violation.
You know it's got to be in the back of Burlingame's heads that, hey, we gave up a 15-point lead before. It could happen again. They have to start getting their game back on track.
5.5 minutes remain until intermission here in this PAL South Division girls matchup. Cormier with her first three-point attempt. Doesn't fall. Rebound to Burlingame.
Well, that zone of Burlingame is pushing Mills back about 3 or 4 feet from the three-point line. Inside
post pass. Newman kicks it to Michaels inside the arc. Boy, she's got a nice touch.
It was a nice move on her part not to stay beyond the three-point line, but to take what the defense gave her and go for the shorter shot.
Michaels now with 7 points. Rowley's got 10. Gustafson's got 4, and Newman's got 3. There's another turnover by Mills. For the Vikings, they've got just 10 points so far. Lastovka's got 2. Sui's got 5. Gibbs has 2, and Chang has 1.
Well, and here they are, down 14 points.
Biggest deficit for Mills so far tonight.
They've got to make the most of the opportunities that they have, and they've had a few turnovers. And there's another one.
Our statisticians are not keeping track of turnovers. They're doing more steals and rebounds and points, but maybe we should have had them track turnovers because they're piling up.
On both sides.
That's correct. Burlingame has the chance to take their biggest lead. 16 they do. Nina Newman, 6-foot senior.
Kind of interesting trying to get the action in that corner there through the balloons that they have set up for senior night.
Gustafson, check that. Gogarty, just inside the arc, trapped in the corner. Nice close-up shot there. Ball goes to Mills.
I noticed just a little bit of limp from Dana Michaels. I don't see it now, but when she kind of came out of that after the whistle was blown, she seemed to limp just a little bit.
Into the game in the paint, Katie Gutierrez wearing that mask. Remember what happened there, Bill?
Yeah, I got a report before the game started. She obviously broke her nose. Happened in a game. I didn't get exactly what game it happened in, but it happened about 2 weeks ago. And apparently they had to reset it, which is why she's still wearing the mask.
Tough girl, though, willing to get in there and still mix it up. Foul before the bucket. Mills could have used that hoop. Instead, they get out of bounds, trailing by 16. Watch the inbounder here. Suey to Huffman. Another held ball. Just like so far, Burlingame appears to be the stronger team, a little more aggressive, forcing the action.
Well, I know it's frustrating for coaches when one of their players gets the ball inside and then puts the ball on the floor and tries to get a shot up, and the defense is able to get their hands in there. Sometimes the best thing to do is to take it right to the basket.
Just like Huffman did there, but can't get it to fall. Back in transition, here come the Panthers. Michaels. Good defense. Loose ball. Goes to the Vikings. Gutierrez had a nice look in the paint. Burlingame sets up that 2-2-1 press.
You mentioned Mills' resiliency in the last game. I see the same attitude on their faces here. They don't seem to be bothered being down by this much. They're still trying to run with what their coaches put in for the game plan, but turnovers.
That definitely has to be the story. They're probably approaching 15 at this point. Maybe 13. Down 16. Just over 2 minutes to go here at Burlingame High School. Burlingame and Mills on MCTV Sports. Newman in trouble. Kicks it out. There's Gogarty. Rebound Newman.
You know, and the difference I see when we're talking about the turnovers, Burlingame has been able to capitalize on many of Mills' turnovers, where Mills has not been able to do the same.
Newman's got 3 rebounds. Rowley's got 4.
But Mills definitely needs to get something going. They haven't scored in a while.
Second quarter action here.
Matter of fact, have they scored this quarter?
I don't think so. The last bucket they scored was that 3-pointer at the end of the quarter. Mills came into this game red hot. They had won 5 games in a row. They beat Carlmont, Aragon, Sequoia, Cappuccino, and Hillsdale. Their only loss was a non-league loss against North Salinas, and before that they had beat Burlingame. So actually they come into this game riding a 6-game league win streak. Find themselves down 17 here.
It's in danger right now. They need to finish off this quarter with at least a basket, hopefully more than that for them.
Burlingame comes in having won 5 in a row. Their last loss was to Mills. Both these teams haven't lost in a while.
That was a nice drive by Madison Suey, but just couldn't get the ball to go in.
Turnover, Michaels.
Coach Matsu of Mills is using a seven-girl rotation, trying to keep his players as fresh as he can.
Seven out of his 9. The only 2 that haven't played are Jamie Martz and Sammy Ho. Coach Matsu, he likes this squad. We asked him before the game, he said, quote, "This team is very different from the teams we've had in the past. We are very young and green. Not as much depth or height, but what makes this team so special is that the kids work hard every day at practice." Full court pass, missed the layup. Here comes the Vikings. Still haven't scored this quarter. 15 seconds left until halftime.
They might just get shut out. No, it's going to be their ball out of bounds.
Coach Matsu went on to say they have a never quit attitude. They got 10 seconds left till intermission. Trying to avoid a goose egg here in the second quarter. Cormier with 2 on the clock, inside to Huffman, and she travels.
Nice entry pass there, and negated by the turnover.
So we've reached halftime here at Burlingame High School in this PAL South Division matchup between the Vikings of Mills and the Panthers of Burlingame. It's 27-10. Burlingame, the hosts, are on top here on MCTV Sports. And what we want to do now is show you a couple interviews that we had, starting with Mills head coach Dave Matsu, and we also talked to a couple of the Mills players. Let's take a look at that now.
I'm Dave Matsu. I'm the girls' varsity basketball coach here at Mills High School. I've been coaching for 30 years now. I started at the elementary school level, and then I went to the intermediate school level, and then the high school, and now varsity. And then I've been the head varsity coach here at Mills for 7 years. I think we've been real successful this year because of our defensive toughness. We're known for our full court press and getting up and down the court and scoring in transition. We work hard every day at practice as well as during the games. And I think that's what makes us real successful is our defensive tenacity. We're very young. I mean, we start a freshman, and at one point in the season we started 3 juniors. So we're young, we're green, and you know, we've missed our point guard. Now that we have her back, I think it's going to put us over the top, and I think we've been getting to play better basketball now. Mike Chardella, who is a very successful coach at Sacred Heart Prep, he won 6 state titles, and he started me in coaching 30 years ago. His philosophy was always work hard, play hard, make sure you're always coaching and teaching your teams. So that's a philosophy that I've adopted his style a lot. Another gentleman that I have followed a lot too is Dele Sobahim, and he talks about staying focused all the time, working hard. I respect him a lot as a coach, and so he's helped me, you know, with my coaching style as well. I played at Mills for 4 years, so it's kind of nice to come back and coach at your alma mater, and I think that's very cool, giving back to the school that taught you the game. Well, I have 4 children of my own. So my oldest daughter is 19 years old. She's a sophomore in college, so I treat each one of these girls like my own daughter. Our big thing is family. We talk about being ohana here. We have a very close relationship. We talk about everything. That's what I think they buy into what I'm preaching a lot, is because we have such a great relationship. Not only do we teach basketball here, we talk about life lessons. So on a daily basis, we're talking life lessons, accountability, being responsible. So that's why I feel like we've been so successful here, is because these girls buy into the whole family atmosphere that I'm trying to provide in a program.
I am Brianna Sui. I'm currently a senior. My position is off guard, kind of like a shooting guard, and just backup point guard.
My name's Tiffany. I go to Mills High School and I'm a senior. My starting position was point guard because our original point guard was out for the beginning part of the season. But since she came back a couple weeks ago, I've been taking the role as a off guard.
My name is Kristen Lasaka. I'm a senior at Mills High School and play starting point guard.
My position consists of a lot of running the lanes on fast breaks, And that's what I like. I like running down the lane, pushing the ball up in transition, and looking to my post players.
I enjoy being a point guard because I love dribbling the ball and I love having kind of control of what's going on in the offense.
I think we started off on a bumpy road, but as games went by and we learned to play with each other and we learned our strengths and weaknesses, we progressed well and we've started to gel as a team.
We talk about our lives and what's going on. We really try to bond on a lower basis, not just when we're here for practice. This isn't just basketball, like we really do become a family. Everyone looks out for each other, everyone helps each other.
It's not basketball first, it's relationships and how we bond together. So all of us pretty much have a good relationship with Coach Dave, so that really helps our game.
If I had to think of a role model, I'd say it'd be my cousin Taylor. She plays varsity basketball at Lowell. She's a very strong person and I kind of feed off of that whenever I see her or whenever I talk to her.
Someone who has been a great role model for me is my brother. He has been teaching me how to play sports ever since I can remember. He was the first one to put a basketball in my hands.
No, Mills High School.
I'm definitely going to miss the people. I love my coaches, Coach Dave and Dermot, along with all the players. There always becomes a sisterhood every year with new people in and out. It's kind of cool that I'm finally a senior. It's been a huge part of my life for the past 4 years to play on Mills basketball. Having fun with all your friends and seeing all your friends in the stands and family supporting you. It's always great to have that feeling.
We're back here courtside at Burlingame High School on MCTV Sports. I'm Kenny Meltz alongside Bill McCarthy, and Bill checking the scoring here, especially in that second quarter. Mills was shut out. Burlingame scored 10. They're on top 17 here. What does Mills have to do to get back in the game?
Score. I know that sounds simple, but when you get shut out in a quarter like that, especially at the varsity level, they've got to put the ball in the hoop. And really, that's the most important thing. Of course, I'm sure it was mentioned by both coaches at halftime. They've been in a similar situation before, so just curious to see if there's going to be any change in strategies on either team because of what happened in the previous game and the comeback that Mills had.
Once again, when Mills came back in that previous game, down 15 and they're down 17, they applied a lot of pressure. We heard that quote earlier from Coach Matsu. They'll definitely have an opportunity to do that. Once again, the scoring breakdown. Rally for Burlingame had 11 points, led all scorers. Michael 7, Newman 5, and Gustafson had 4 points for the Panthers. For the Vikings, Brianna Sui had 5, with 2 each was Listofka and Gibbs, and Tiffany Chang scored 1 point on a free throw. Once again, thank you to our statisticians, Nick Brokaw and Julius Adkins. Both have brothers who play in the Mills Vikings boys program, as Burlingame continues with Nora Gustafson with an inside bucket.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Mills would not have wanted to happen, them getting a basket on their first possession.
Foul on the drive there by Sarah Gogarty.
But again, Burlingame took advantage of a size mismatch and went inside. And really, that's what they need to do to maintain this lead.
Madison Sui, Kristen Listofka, Tiffany Chang. Chang with the drive. Contact, no call. Madison Sui battling inside. Jump ball.
And that was a good no call. She had her hand straight up. She didn't initiate the contact. The ball handler initiated the contact.
We talked about the standings. Woodside in first, Burlingame in second, Mills tied for third. We hadn't talked about the rankings in the Central Coast section for Division III. Burlingame is ranked third. Mills is ranked 9th. That according to Max Preps, one of the greatest high school websites ever created. Great resource tool for coaches, players, and fans, parents, anybody can go on there. MaxPreps.com. There's a jump shot. Nicely done, Sarah Gogarty.
And from what I can see so far, defensively, Mills is going with the same strategy. They're in that man-to-man, and 2 possessions now. Burlingame has converted. 21-point lead.
Gogarty's now got, that was her first basket.
Nice follow-up by Julia Gibbs there.
Gibbs now has 4. 31-12. It's been mostly all Burlingame. Coach Lepeltak not happy with that turnover. Another update from one of our runners. Ethan Castle, boys varsity score. El Camino 30, Half Moon Bay 24. El Camino ended on a 10-0 run to end the half. That's from boys varsity on the north. Suey from the corner can't get it to fall. We got another score update. This is from girls varsity on the north side. At halftime, Westmore leads South City 26-23. Tiffany Chang with the steal. She's fouled. She'll go to the line.
And they're staying in their full court man-to-man as well, Mills is. And nice anticipation there by Tiffany to get the steal. But they've got to convert free throws.
A lot going on tonight around the San Mateo County in basketball. There on Wednesday, February the 6th, one game to watch. Sequoia is at Woodside. Once again, Woodside unbeaten in the PAL South in first place. They take on Sequoia, and Sequoia is 3-6 in the South. So you figure Woodside might win that one and go to 10-0. Burlingame trying to stay within one game and move to 9-1. There's a big showdown. The schedule makers got it right, Bill. Next Tuesday, February the 12th, Woodside at Burlingame.
That should be a good one.
That's in the PAL South Division finale. And the winner of that game will have the #1 seed in the PAL playoffs, which begin next Thursday. Now to explain the PAL playoffs, the top 4 from the South play the top 4 from the North. First place from the South plays 4th place from the North. And so on and so forth. They cross matchup with the higher seed having the home court advantage. There's Gustafson again inside. She's been a force tonight, Bill.
Well, she missed her first shot on that one and then stayed with it, followed it up, and put in the second one.
She's now got 8 points on tonight.
And this size difference might just be a little bit too much tonight.
Biggest lead of the game for Burlingame. It stands at 20.
And Burlingame now is picking up full court to speed up Mills' game. And it results in a turnover.
Good hustle there by Cormier. You know, before I forget, Coach Matsu wanted me to mention about his assistant coach, Dermot Cronin. Coach Matsu said, quote, "He has been with me for the last 6 years and is a big reason for our program's success. He works over 50 hours a week and still makes it to practice and games. His input and scouting reports are right on." Coach Matsu went on to say, "I couldn't ask for a better assistant. He's married to a high school basketball legend, Jenny Circle. Circle played at Sacred Heart Prep and won 2 state championships and was a high school All-American. She played basketball at the University of Colorado." So Coach Matsu wanted to thank Coach Cronin for all his help. And as you know, Bill, any good head coach is almost as good as his assistant coach will help him out.
Well, anybody who coaches at this level puts in tremendous amount of time. What so many people don't realize is how much time gets put in when the kids aren't involved. It's really a year-round job when you're a varsity coach, and even for the assistants, they put in a lot of time as well.
Michaels for three. I'm sorry, Bill, go ahead.
I was going to say, there she is again. I was waiting for the shot to see what happened.
Foul inside. You know, I once read an article and they talked about high school coaches that run a year-round program. They average making 8 cents an hour.
That sounds about right. I don't think coaches at this level do it for the money.
That's for sure. Coach Matsu trying to get his Vikings back in the game. They came from 15 down on the 18th of January to beat these same Panthers. They're going to have to come from behind 20 points down if they're going to do it tonight.
Right now it's getting to the point where not only is Burlingame going to be their opponent, but the clock is going to be their opponent with 4:16 left in this quarter and down by 20 points. That's a big hole to dig yourself out of.
At the line, that's Madison Suey. Mills has struggled so far this evening from the free throw line.
You've got to convert the shots when the clock's not going.
2 of 8, 2 of 7, 3 of 8 now. Okay, 3 of 8 on the night from the line. Mills still trying to put on that full court man press. It bothered Burlingame early, but like you said, Bill, they couldn't convert off the turnovers. Here comes Michael. Can't get the runner to fall. Leading scorer Michaels has struggled so far against Mills. She struggled the first time they played, only scored 8. Held ball. Tonight, Michaels has 7. She just has 1 3. In the first meeting between these two, she hit just 2. So even though Mills is down by 19, they've continued to do a nice job in limiting Michaels.
I think part of that, though, is they're converting on when they're going inside for Burlingame. They're converting rather than kicking the ball back out to her.
Michaels with 83 pointers this season. There's a little short range jump shot miss. She's being recruited by a couple Division II schools. There's Brianna Suey for 3, and it comes up short. Back the other way, there's Michaels. Great look. Schools that Michaels is being recruited by: Sonoma State, UC Merced, Oregon Tech, San Francisco State, Dominican College, and Whittier. And we just heard from an inside source she's kind of leaning towards Whittier, which is down in LA.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they are the Whittier Poets.
Foul inside. Cormier will go to the free throw line for the Vikings. In fact, Lauren Rowley and Nina Newman for Burlingame have also drawn some interest. In fact, all 6 of the seniors have been contacted by JC coaches. This according to Burlingame head coach Bill Lepeltat.
Well, they've got a good core of players. They've been playing together for a long time, not only through the middle school ranks. Many of them play together on AAU teams. So they know each other pretty well.
Last year, Burlingame was 3-7 in the Bay Division, 10-16 overall, and they lost both time to Mills. So Mills has won the last 3 meetings between these two. Burlingame wanted this one pretty bad. Last year, head coach of Burlingame was Marvin Louie.
Well, Mills graduated some of their size from last year, and they, with the exception of Julia Gibbs, the freshman, they didn't really have any size coming up through the program.
Last year, Mills went 7-2 in the PAL South, 13. Check that. They went 6-4 in the Bay Division, 16-11 overall. 3-point attempt by Michaels, no good. Rebound, put back. That's Newman.
And again, an example of shooting from the outside, got the miss, was able to convert it. Nina Newman getting the basket there, and size advantage.
Newman's got 7 points tonight. Tiffany Chang going to the free throw line. She just got fouled. Last year in the PAL tournament, Mills beat Hillsdale by 10. And then in the semifinals, Mills lost to San Mateo 61-45. So they made it to the Final Four last year in the PAL tournament. Ended up 16-11 overall. Of course, made it to the CCS. Free throws good by Chang.
But again, she missed the first one, only getting 50%. You're down by 20 points still.
Mills 4 of 10 from the free throw line tonight against that full court man pressure. Burlingame started out struggling against it, but has handled it well since then. Only 10 on the shot clock. Inside once again, that's Newman. Spinning, whirling dervish. Can't get it to go.
Nice move by Nina Newman, but ball just wouldn't go in for her.
Last year, Mills made it to the CCS, and they beat Seaside in round 2 by 34 points. Then in the quarterfinals, they lost to Santa Cruz. Here comes Tiffany Chang, down by 20. Minute 40 left in the third quarter. Madison Seward, and it's short again.
You know, you're talking about what Mills has done in the past. I know you mentioned that Dave Matsu's been coaching for 6 years. He's done a really good job. He was a Frost Soft coach before being the varsity coach. And he's done a really good job of, you know, one thing I've noticed with his teams is they always play hard. They know where they're at on the court. They play with each other, and they give a full effort. They usually play some type of full court defense. So obviously conditioning is a part of their program.
Three-pointer there by Lauren Rowley. She's had the hot hand tonight. Rowley's got 14 to lead all scorers. You mentioned Coach Matsu was a Frost Soft coach. He also was at Sacred Heart Prep coaching the JV girls in the early 2000s. He was also head coach at Mercy Burlingame back in 1991. Grew up here in Burlingame, ironically, but went to Mills High School. Graduated in '87. Three-pointer by Newman's no good.
Well,
Coach Matsu played 4 years of basketball for the Vikings, 3 of them on varsity. He was a shooting guard, and his coach was the legendary Bobby Thompson.
I remember Bobby Thompson. Used to be fun to watch him on the sidelines.
Coach Matsu now lives in San Carlos with his wife Donna and 3 children. 38-15. Mills has only scored 5 points in the last 2 quarters.
And this game is definitely getting away from them.
Huffman gets on the floor. But like you said, the Vikings will fight to the bitter end. That's a Coach Matsu team. Nice left hand there by Sui. She struggled to get it going. She's got definitely more talent than she showed tonight.
She made a nice move there, just taking it straight to the basket.
Millbrae Community Television will be covering the Year of the Snake Lunar New Year Street Festival on February the 16th. So come out to experience this exciting day at 10 a.m. with stage performances, Golden Dragon and Lion dances, tons of good food, a ping pong tournament, and much more. The event is co-sponsored by the Millbrae Sister Cities Commission, the Peninsula Chinese Business Association, and the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce. Go to mctv.tv to see playback dates of when the show will air. And since we have a short break in the action, we'd like to take a second to thank our underwriters again for helping MCTV to show local sports in Millbrae. Without them, this kind of programming would not be possible. If you enjoy this program or other programs on MCTV, consider becoming an MCTV underwriter. It's a great way to get your name on local television and to support the Millbrae community. For more info, contact MCTV at 259-2343 or send an email to info@mctv.tv. Once again, I'm Kenny Melch alongside Bill McCarthy here, courtside. Mills and Burlingame at Burlingame High School on MCTV Sports. Set to go here in the fourth quarter, Bill. What does Mills have to do? Possibly, do they have a shot at getting back into this?
Well, 21-point deficit is not easy to come back from in just one quarter. It takes so much effort, but you never know. I mean, a couple turnovers here and there, a couple three-pointers, and they could make it interesting.
Another update. Actually, we got a final score to report from the North Division as Newman misses that shot. Here comes Listowka. She goes to the basket. She's fouled. She'll go to the line. This girls' varsity basketball final score comes from the North Division. Westmore beats South City 58-42.
And definitely, Kenny, they're going to have to hit their free throws.
Listowka, 2 points on tonight. She's 0 for 2. And make it 0 for 3 from the free throw line. Last Wednesday, Listowka scored 4 points when Mills beat Sequoia. And last Friday, Listowka also had 4 points as Mills beat Aragon. Against Burlingame on January 18th, Listowka had 7.
As I mentioned when we were talking about the previous game between Mills and Burlingame, one of the things that did get Mills back into the game is they were getting the ball inside to Julia Gibbs. And they really have just not been able to do that very much tonight, which is a credit, of course, to Burlingame's defense.
In that game on the 18th, Gibbs had 9 points. And tonight, she has just 4 points. Leading scorer for Mills in that game was Brianna Suey, who had 10. Leading scorer for Burlingame that night was Newman, who had 14, and Rowley had 11. Tonight, Rowley's got 14, and Newman's got 7.
And Nora Gustafson just hit that one from about a little beyond the free throw line, and Burlingame's just running their offense and getting open looks.
40-18. Burlingame still in that 2-3 zone. Has given Mills a lot of problems. There's Martz into the game with her 3-point attempt. Jamie Martz, 5'2" junior. Here comes Gogarty.
Well, nobody picked her up, and that's a tendency to happen when you're down by so much. You kind of scramble a bit on defense, and oftentimes someone gets left open.
Madison Suey, 5'4" junior. Number 13 with the ball. There's March. She tries to drive the lane. That's good aggressiveness. She gets fouled and she'll go to the line. Earlier tonight, Bill, in the girls' Frost-Soft matchup, Burlingame beat Mills by 2 points, 36-34. So now both those Frost-Soft girls teams are tied for first with a record of 8-2. On the boys' side, the Frost-Soft game, Mills beat Burlingame 30-26. Mills is now 8-2, tied for second place. Burlingame falls to 5-5, tied for 5th place in the boys' Frost-Soft South Division.
I saw a little bit of that boys' Frost-Soft game, and there's definitely some talent at the lower level for Mills.
Coach Hansen's got some talent coming up. There's Michaels, one-on-one against Chang. Two seniors going at it for the final time, possibly.
And I think at this point that the Mills girls really are not looking too much at the scoreboard. They're just, again, it's a rival game. Many of these girls have been playing against each other at different levels. They just want to do the best that they can under the circumstances here.
Mills fighting for their PAL playoff lives right now. If they lose this one, which it looks like they're going to, they're going to drop to 7-3. One game or a half a game ahead of San Mateo, depending on how they do tonight. Let's assume Mills gets the 4th place spot. They would play first place from the north. That's Westmore. We got a score update. They won again. Westmore's undefeated at 10-0. So Mills would travel to Westmore next Thursday night in the opening round of the PAL playoffs. Not an easy task.
Well, it's never easy playing on somebody else's court. Of course, they've been doing it all year.
Because Mills Gym is under construction. They're remodeling it, rebuilding it. So they played their home games at either Cappuccino or Peninsula High School or here at Burlingame. Same with the boys. They've had to play their games away from home.
On the play there that just happened, it was a very nice feed inside from Kristen Listofka to Lindsay Huffman. She wasn't able to convert the hoop. She got fouled on the shot. And unfortunately for her, misses the first of 2 free throws.
Listofka is now 1 of 4. She missed that one. We're now 6 of 18. Mills unofficially 6 of 18 from the free throw line tonight. Out of bounds. Burlingame in the PAL South. If they win this, which it looks like they will, they'll go to 9-1. Let's assume they finish second, as they are right now in second place. They would host Half Moon Bay, who's 3rd place in the north. If they beat Woodside next Tuesday, they would finish first, which means they would host Terra Nova, who currently is in 4th. Terra Nova, of course, have won 4 straight PAL county titles, although they lost their big 3, and they're struggling at 500, but still a dangerous team.
Well, the last 4 years, they had a dynamite group of girls that went through that program, and a lot of fun to watch. They were exciting. They knew how to move the ball around. And of course, that happens.
3 girls from that Terra Nova team got Division I scholarships. 1 went to Reno, 1 went to Texas A&M, and 1 went to San Jose State. That's what kind of talent they have. Right now, they're 5-5 in 4th place. There's a 3-point attempt by Cormier off target. Suey with the rebound, and the height and length of Newman has been a big factor tonight. 3-pointer by Rowley. She's been the leading scorer tonight, number 21, along with 13, Newman. That's Newman with the ball now. That's Katie Gutierrez.
Now, I will say, considering their size deficit, Mills has played pretty good defense. I know the score doesn't seem to show that, but the girls are giving up 2, 3, 4 inches, and they've done their best to contend down there.
Coach Lepeltak, the head coach of Burlingame, has got a lot of experience. Coach boys Frost off in the 80s, boys varsity at Terra Nova in the 80s, girls varsity at Oceana in the late 80s and early 90s, won a championship there. Was an assistant coach at San Francisco State in the early 90s. Mid-90s, Coach Lepeltak was a girls varsity coach at Terra Nova and won league all 3 years.
Wow, that shot rolled off the top of the glass and into the basket for Lindsay Huffman.
Those are the breaks they needed early on. Gutierrez can't get it.
Well, they've played hard, but the ball just has not gone in the basket enough times.
Left hand by Madison Suey. There's Newman's height again. Timeout Burlingame. We'd like to thank the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring this event. Chamber of Commerce is a non-profit association that promotes and supports outstanding businesses in Millbrae. Local organizations and residents can join, and members receive discounts to local businesses. If you'd like to join, contact millbrae.com or call 697-7324 for more information. We mentioned that it's spring sports time again for the high schools, and that means it's softball season, and MCTV is going to be there. We have a great matchup scheduled with the Mills Vikings hosting the San Mateo Bearcats on April the 12th. It's going to be a great game, and you can catch it only on MCTV. Check mctv.tv for scheduling info.
You mentioned earlier about Lunar New Year, and I know that red is supposed to be the color of good luck. Unfortunately, the red uniforms for Mills hasn't quite worked out for them tonight.
It was Burlingame's night from the beginning. They led 17-10 after one, 27-10 at halftime, and have not looked back. They lead by 20 here with 3:20 left to go in a ball game.
And a key for Burlingame was coming out of that halftime. Despite having such a big lead, you know it had to be in the back of their minds what had occurred the previous game. They came in and they converted, I believe, on their first 3 possessions, and that really put the game away right there.
Block shot, Burlingame. Michaels retrieves it. Rally, a little bit out of control, turns it over. So Coach Lepeltak, basically since the early 80s, has been coaching. He also coached at College of Notre Dame. He coached at Skyline in the late 80s with Pete Pontac. And Coach Lepeltak had some great things to say about Coach Matsu. Madison Suey inside, the left-handed, nice. She's had kind of probably about 3 or 4 shots that looked like that, just kind of bounced around the rim and came out, unfortunately. That's her sister, Brianna Suey. Huffman. Brianna Suey with the rebound. There's Brianna with the 3. Got it.
She does have a nice looking shot, Brianna Suey.
Brianna now with 8 points on the night. Leading scorer for the Vikings. Their second 3-pointer.
It's difficult though when you are able to get the ball inside. You know that you have a size mismatch, and as a shooter, not only are you trying to get it to the basket, you're trying to get it over the hands that are in front of you, and that often throws off the shot.
I wanted to mention Coach Lepeltak's quote about Coach Matsu. He said, quote, "Mills has a great program, a great coach. In fact, Dave is the best coach in the league. Mills kids play really hard. Only 2 league losses by 2 points each," end quote. It's a nice compliment.
Well, you know, any time as a coach, you know, you want to hear that your players are out there giving it their full effort. Now, that's really all you can ask of them. If they're out there playing hard and trying to do the things that you coach them to do, there's really nothing more you can ask of them.
Shot from the corner by Madison Suey. Here comes Burlingame with 1:40, still with 2 starters in the game. Michaels and Rowley. Chang has been all over Michaels tonight. Still all over. Actually, we got 3 starters in the game for Burlingame.
Well, I was kind of wondering when it was going to be that time when you go to your bench.
Jessica Privado Baker for Burlingame. Big number 44 down low is in off the bench. And also for Burlingame, Claire Phillips.
And even more size that they're putting into the game.
Phillips is 5'10", she's a sophomore. Privado Baker's a 5'8" junior. Newman's a 6-foot senior, she's out of the game. Gustafson's a 5'10" senior. Mills just doesn't have the height. Huffman, 5'7". That's Cormier, she's 5'8", misses that 3. Brianna Suey's 5'3". Her sister Madison Suey's 5'4". There's a bucket there by Privado Baker. Lastovka is not in the game. She's 5'3". Chang is 5'2", and Martz is 5'2". Less than a minute to go. No basket.
If you don't have the size that enables you to have an offense that goes inside, you have to find other ways to score. And sometimes you have to rely upon, more shots from distance, getting turnovers out of a full court press or some kind of pressure defense, which of course is what Mills has tried to do tonight, but the ball just hasn't cooperated.
It's been a tough night. Double team there. Now all the starters are out for Burlingame. 30 seconds left. Held ball, it goes to Mills. Up next for Mills, they host Cappuccino here at Burlingame. That's a home game for them. And Burlingame is at San Mateo. Mills wants Burlingame to win that game. 25 seconds left. And then the finale next Tuesday, MA plays Mills at Peninsula High School. That's another home game for Mills. And then Burlingame and Woodside right here at Burlingame for first place in the PAL championship at stake. So they're going to run out the clock. Well, not quite yet. All the way to the final buzzer. That's a typical Mills team under Coach Matsu.
And one thing I've noticed, despite the lopsided score, I have not seen the Mills players get down on themselves at all or start pointing fingers at each other. They win as a team, they lose as a team.
And the final buzzer has sounded. Final score, 43 for Burlingame. Mills has 24. Mills' overall record drops to 13-9. They're now 7-3 in the PAL South. Burlingame improves their overall record to 20-2, and they're 9-1 in the PAL South in second place. If you're interested in purchasing a DVD of tonight's game, you can call MCTV at 259-2343 or send us an email at info@mctv.tv. To pick up a DVD that you have ordered, stop by our office at 621 Magnolia Avenue. We're just below the Jacuzzi Room at City Hall. Orders for pickup are $20 or we'll mail it to you for an extra $5. And if you missed any parts of tonight's coverage, you can catch replays of tonight's girls varsity game on Friday, February 15th at 12 p.m. and tonight's boys varsity game on Sunday, February 17th at 12 p.m. For additional show dates and times, please check out MCTV's program schedule at MCTV. Let's get final score. Burlingame 43, Mills 24. Bill McCarthy, your final thoughts on tonight's game.
Well, I definitely think Burlingame came into this game with a statement to make. I don't think they were happy about what happened in the previous game, having that 15-point lead and seeing it go away, and they made a statement tonight.
Run down to the Mills scoring quickly before we take a break going into the boys game. Brianna Sui led the Vikings with 8 points. Gibbs had 4. Lastovka, Chang, and Madison Sui each had 3. Huffman had 2. For the Panthers, they were led by Rowley, who had 14. Gustafson had 7. Newman had 7. Gugerty had 2. Michaels was held to 7, and Bravado Baker added 2 points. That's going to do it for game 1 of 2 here from Burlingame High School on senior night. Final score once again, Burlingame girls 43, the Mills girls 24. For everyone here at MCTV Sports, we want to thank you for watching. And coming up next, the boys game. Good night, everybody.